Yo, this is Chris Spencer, and you're on BKS1 Radio.
It's your girl Chanel, BKS1 Radio, and I'm here with the beautiful Garcelle Bouvet.
I'm paying you later.
Hey, I'm the queen of comedy, some more, and right now you're rocking with BKS1 Radio.
BKS1 Radio Network. I'm here with the amazing Miss Tasha Smith. How you doing?
I'm doing so good. Thank you for coming out.
Yes, yes.
I really appreciate it.
Hello, Denise Boutte. Hey, what's up? Shout out to BKS1 Radio. See you soon.
Brick City's finest, J.D. Williams. I'm in the Savage Podcast Studio, chilling at BKS1 Radio.
BKS1 Radio. I'm here with the legendary Mr. Dick Gregory. How you doing today, sir?
Fantastic, brother, and thank you, and thank you, and thank you.
This is Essence Atkins, and this is BKS1 Radio.
Jamie Foxx, BKS1 Radio. What's going on with you?
Storming on.
This is George Dr. Funkenstein Clinton for BKS1 Radio. They be doing the dog, y'all.
Yo, this is Chris Spencer, and you're on BKS1.
9 p.m. and you are now in the game. Welcome, welcome, folks. It's 9:15, but we're right on time as we usually are. How you doing, Coach V?
Doing well, thank you very much.
How was your week? Because you were out last week, weren't you?
Oh yeah. I was supposed to call in, but then we had a team meeting at 9:30. So yeah, we had a ECAC conference meet last week, and we did pretty good there. We did really well. Did better than
a track event?
Yes, track and field championship, Division III, down at Johns Hopkins University.
Okay,
and it went well. It went well.
Well, congratulations to you and your team. Ghost, how was your week?
Cinco.
It was good, man. Can't complain.
All right. Well, you know what time. You know what we do here, folks. I'm a little bit, I'm not going to say I'm under the weather, but you know when you get that little thing in the back of your throat and you start feeling like that little unsoreness? That's where I'm at. But I'm a trooper, and I love what I do here, so I'm good. I'm blessed and highly favored to be able to come in here and crack this mic. I do not take it for granted. I do not take the time for granted. So let's get started. Last night, Ghost, we are in the heat of the NBA playoffs. And by the heat, I mean the thick of it. Overall, the playoffs have been really disappointing, if you will, in terms of the games. There's a lot of blowouts. It's going back and forth. The series are close, but it's not like, like what? Golden State blew out the Rockets by what? 41 goes?
Yep, 41.
Oh,
it was ridiculous.
The first game?
No, it was
the second game. It was
third game.
Third game.
That was last night.
Yeah, or night before last.
Before last.
And then, Cleveland blew out Boston. Boston blew out Cleveland. So it's a weird dynamic as to what's going on.
Right.
Now, the Boston Celtics had taken a 2-0 lead over the Cleveland Cavaliers, going back to Cleveland. Most recently, the Cavs have evened that series up. Coach V, what are your initial thoughts on the Cleveland Cavaliers evening up the series?
Well, I got a lot of thoughts.
Okay.
But I'll just keep it simple for this opening segment.
Okay.
I mean, it did what they expected to do. Boston is good at home. They're very good at home, although they were good on the road regular season. But playoffs, they're like 1-6 now.
Mm-hmm.
So they're doing exactly what you would expect them to do. Cleveland, they lost on the road, although they are a better road team, but they won at home, which is what they should do. So really, I'm not surprised about anything that has happened thus far. I guess the real true test is going to come in the next couple games, because now, basically everything is even, and it's who's going to win the next, 2 out of 3.
Right. It literally becomes a 2 out of 3 series, which is, I mean, is that good, Ghost? Is that something you look forward to? Because you said off air that you've become bored with sports in general and bored with the NBA playoffs because you feel
I think I'm more bored with NBA. Like,
okay.
I'm interested in baseball because baseball is exciting to me again now because the Yankees are young. You got the Braves playing well. They're young. The Nats got a pretty young team. They just called it a little 19. I hate saying little. I don't mean in a disrespectful way. But the 19-year-old kid up who hit a home run first at bat. You got, what's the name? Oshanti, the pitcher.
Shohei Ohtani.
Yeah. So it's exciting things in baseball. It's keeping me piqued interest, so I'm keeping up with that a little more. Basketball, it's just boring because it's like a foregone conclusion on who's going to be there every year.
Right, and that really gets boring. Like you said, it's. But
even you mentioned it before. I had to cut you off.
Good.
Even you mentioned before, like back in the 80s and early 90s, it was the same teams,
right?
But it just seemed like it was
more competitive,
it was more exciting,
right?
Because even though the Bulls always made it, You had years where the Knicks were good, the Pistons were good, and their series were tough. Like the Bulls didn't just run through teams all the time.
Right, there were battles going on.
Yeah, they even had
good
battles with Cleveland
right.
at the time. So it was, to me back then, it was a little more, even though it was the same number of teams, like Boston and the Lakers always went to the finals.
Sure.
But it seemed like as a whole, it was exciting.
Mm-hmm.
Like it wouldn't have shocked you back then if the Sixers beat the Celtics and went to the finals. It wouldn't have shocked you if the Pistons beat the Celtics and went to the finals.
The Celtics, I mean, the Sixers could never really get it done.
That 1 year.
Yeah, they had 83.
Just the 1 year. But, I mean, it wouldn't have
And that was
shocked you
after they picked up Moses, and Moses really came in and dominated.
Yeah.
Where did he come from? When he was picked up from what?
Didn't he come from Houston?
Yes.
I thought he came from Houston.
Yes.
Yeah, I didn't want to throw it out there because I was trying to run through my brain. But he came from Houston, and then he took the Sixers to another level. They only got that one championship in the 80s. The rest were divided, I think.
To the Lakers and Celtics.
Boston had 4. Celtics had 4. So what is that, 9?
The Lakers had 4. Lakers had 4. Boston had 4.
I think the Lakers, Boston had 4. My computer's running jacked
I
up.
can't remember. I got to check it. But it seemed like it was basically, he was saying the same 2 teams dominated
Yeah, it was like
a majority of the.
Right. You're right, because the Pistons didn't win until like the early 90s, 1991.
Right.
But at the time when Boston beat them, it wouldn't have shocked you. Like Boston had to do a great play by Larry Bird to beat them in that one playoff series.
Absolutely.
So it wouldn't have shocked you if other teams won. Like now you would be legitimately shocked if Golden State lost.
So basically, you saying that Houston has no chance? Is that what you're saying?
Everybody has a chance, but they would have to play perfect for 4 out of. And I don't think it's possible for them. I don't think they have enough consistent scores after James Harden.
Chris Paul?
What can you say you're going to consistently get from Chris Paul? Is it range from 15 to 25?
I would. He's really going to need to have to put up 30, if you ask me, to really keep them
and
in.
Then, like say that is just that too. So you can say 30 to 35 from Harden, right?
If he does that, because
he's
going to
gonna
get my
give you
internet
that.
running. Hold on, I'm gonna get this internet running. We're live, so you know how it is. Callers, you can call in. The calling number 646-233-1302.
1302.
For the slow people, 646-233-1302. And you see it right down. Hold on, let me out there. There you go, right down there. You can give us a call if you want to get your opinions heard. We do not hang up on you unless you're calling and talking something crazy, and then we'll just cut you off. But anyway, excuse me. I will get this nose thing corrected in a few. But Ghost, let me look that up, because look, what did Harden have in that last game? Did he have a bad game? I'm still trying to figure out.
The game that just passed?
No, the game 3. Because game 4 is starting.
Warriors
right
are up 12-0 already.
What? I was
Warriors up 12-0.
Not surprised.
It's in.
Dun,
So,
dun,
Coach V, you
dun.
said you're not surprised.
No, I am not.
Do you think Houston has a chance
I mean,
to win the series? I mean, legitimately win the series.
No.
No chance whatsoever.
Yep, and I have my reasons.
Well, give them to me. Give me the top 3 reasons why they can't win.
It comes down to, as I told you before the show started, like Gregory and I have had this.
Now, folks, if you don't know, hold on, let me just jump in there. I'm sorry to jump you. Gregory is Coach V's brother.
Gregory.
Her little brother.
Yes.
Gregory, but he's a grown man. Obviously, he's not some child. He did play professional basketball in Europe, if I recall correctly.
Yes.
Correct?
Yes.
Okay, so he's a knowledgeable basketball player and an experienced, a former professional basketball player.
Yes.
What were you and Gregory talking about?
So we were talking about, I called him up and I said, Gregory, I know I didn't play at your level, and I've coached, but I know I haven't coached at the NBA level. But to me, why do more teams not play a motion style offense? I said we all pretty much grew up with it in high school.
Now, when you say motion style offense, define that for me.
Motion, motion is just being an offense where you don't necessarily have a specific set. It is more like a read and react. It's what Golden State plays. It's a form of the triangle. Pete Carroll, he really ran a motion offense.
Okay.
And I said, well, why don't more teams run that? You know, I understand in high school, you know, that we are pretty much every high school player ran motion at some point. Then you get to college, you don't do it as much. You ran more like sets. You have your, side out of bounds, underneath the basket, blah, 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 sets like that. And then also you find out as you get into college and as you move into professionals, you have obviously more skilled players, athletically skilled.
Sure.
I'm not saying that they're basketball fundamentally skilled, but they're athletically skilled.
Sure.
So you tend to get away with that because at most times you just give the best player the ball and let them go do what they want to do. And I think we get confused when they say, well, players just want to, they don't want to be hemmed in. They want freedom and stuff like that. But there is so much freedom in a motion offense. There is so much freedom in the triangle that people don't understand. And Golden State, and historically, teams that were very good, like the Showtime Lakers, the Bulls, the 80s, the Celtics back in the 80s, and even the Harlem Globetrotters. They're good. They're good because they play a motion style offense. And this is an emotion style offense means basically you're moving with the ball, you move without the ball, you're passing, you're cutting. It's constant movement. It's directed movement, but it's constant movement. You can translate that into almost like Brazil when they played the beautiful game. That's it's a lot of emotion. Soccer. I think it's almost analogous to, not quite, but along that vein of in football, the RPO, run pass option.
Okay.
Because it's not a specific set, and defensively it is hard to guard because you have to basically keep your head on a swivel because you think you've stopped one thing, but then you got 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 other things that are possibly can go on that can happen. And Pete Carril wrote a book said the weak will take from the strong, basically talking about his whole offensive philosophy. So I just don't understand.
Well, what was his answer?
His whole philosophy, he was basically explaining his motion offense. He says the weak will take from the strong.
No, what was Greg's answer? I'm saying what was Gregory's answer when you asked him why don't more teams play a motion offense? He
said because it requires thinking, and a lot of players don't want to think. It requires, it's a read and react. It requires you to think past the first option. You go to the second, the third, and the fourth. And with Golden State, I don't see anybody beating Golden State. I don't care what analytics you look at. I don't care how many threes you jack up, because Golden State will always have a way to score. Sure. Houston, you can stop them. You can slow them down. But Golden State, you can't, because if you do stop the three, they can get the mid-range shot. They do, even though it doesn't seem like the mid-range game is there, they have a mid-range game. They have guys that have a mid-range game. Plus they have the easy shots, and their offense is effortless. The first game when you saw Harden play, he got like 40 some odd, 45 points or whatever. That was a hard 40. I mean, you just how hard it was. But Golden State is easy, it's effortless. That's why people want to go play for Golden State. And that's why when they said it's easy to guard Russell, we love playing Russell Westbrook. It's easy to guard him. And people go, oh, no, that's Russell Westbrook. No, what they're saying is that we know what he's going to do because he's ball dominant and he doesn't move without the ball. Russell Westbrook does not move very well without the ball.
Ghost, your thoughts on Golden State and anybody's chance to beat them?
I mean, I don't think anybody got a chance to beat them because you got 4 scorers who gonna score. And I don't care whether they all did stand still offense. You got 4 shooters. So what's the likelihood of 4 shooters being off in a force? And even if one of them's off for one game, you got 3 other people who can score.
And Kevin Durant
and you don't have to take. You can leave 2 of them on the court at all times.
And Kevin Durant's unguardable at 7'12" with that jumper.
They just have an unstoppable offense. I don't even care what kind of offense they run. They just have too many people who are consistently scoring.
It really is. I mean, it does seem unstoppable. Now, you can win a game here or there, but a 7-game series is the great, is a truth teller. They say 99% of the time the better team will win in a 7-game series. Yeah. So it's hard to see anybody, like you said, goes beating Golden State. I hope I'm a LeBron supporter. I'm a Laker fan, but I'm a LeBron supporter. So I hope that he can get out there and really. First of all, he has to beat Celtics. Let's go back to that because that seems to be a bit more of a competitive series. Give me your thoughts on the Celtics, who can't seem to win a game. What are they? 1-6 on the road and 9-0 at home. 1-6 on the road and 9-0 at home.
I thought they didn't win on the road.
No, they won 1 game in Philly.
That was a steal.
Yeah, that was luck. Didn't they go to overtime?
Yeah. And what are your thoughts? Well, and Philly really blew that game more than the Celtics won it.
I think Cleveland's going to win the series because I got faith in Cleveland pulling 1 out in Boston because they could have pulled out game 2. It definitely, if it goes 7. If it goes 7, I'm putting my money on LeBron to win game 7 over anybody on the Celtics. I just don't think. They say when teams go on the road, players who haven't had, like, your role players don't play as well. They do it at home.
Absolutely.
I have a little more faith in Cleveland's role players to step up for one game on the road because they have that experience.
Let's talk about J.R. Smith. J.R. Smith is one of the veterans of the Cleveland Cavaliers.
He's so hot and cold.
But that's where I was going with it.
But if he gets hot, he can get hot anytime.
Right.
And I have more faith that he'll get hot on the road than a Boston.
Even though you've seen Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, and all these
those
guys.
aren't the role players. Those are starters. I'm talking about the people coming off the bench.
So you talk about Marcus Smart.
Yes, I have more faith in people like Kyle Korver, like J.R. Smith, like Jeff Green, to have a big.
I don't know. Jeff Green hasn't really done much
have
for
a big
me.
Game on the road. I'm comparing them against those people having a game on the road.
Jeff Green hasn't really done much for me this series. I've been a little bit disappointed. I had higher expectations for him than he's produced thus far. So I don't know how I feel about Jeff Green just yet. The jury's still out on him. But folks, we also are going to get back to a little bit. We're gonna have some more in-depth analysis because last week we had such a good time. We're gonna bring them back. We have the great Jamal Murphy and the great Gerard Hector. They both cover basketball in New York City. They cover both the New York Knicks and the Brooklyn Nets. Now you can argue that covering those teams isn't really covering basketball. But, it is professional basketball. I'm making a weak joke there. Sorry. Covering the Knicks, it's not like covering pro basketball. It's just like a college team that has a pro logo. But anyway, I digress. Ghost, I want to talk about something a little bit serious that kind of ticks me off.
Uh-oh.
And I think you know what I'm talking about. It's the NFL.
Uh-oh.
The NFL has said, and now let me set this stage for this. Matt Patricia is the new head coach of the Detroit Lions, former assistant head coach, defensive coordinator for the Super Bowl winning New England Patriots. Mm-hmm. And about 20 years ago, he was indicted for a sexual assault crime. He maintains his innocence, says he did not commit the crime. The NFL has issued a ruling saying that they are not going to punish him in any way.
Yeah.
And they base this on the fact that he was not involved in the NFL when this situation happened.
Right.
Ghost, was Zeke Elliott involved in the NFL?
Yes.
Tell me how.
The offense that really brought the question in July was after the draft, and that was when he was a member of the Dallas Cowboys. The other offenses that happened before the draft, he wasn't a member of the Cowboys. That happened like in February. But since the situation happened in July in Florida, he was a member of the Cowboys at that time.
Had he signed a contract?
He was still property of the Cowboys, right? I think he did sign the contract.
I don't know. That's what I'm trying to determine.
Camp.
I'm sorry?
That was before training camp, and he was officially picked.
So these events happened...
That one event happened after he was part of the NFL.
After he signed the contract?
I'm not sure if he signed a contract, but it happened in July, and I was after the draft, and the Cowboys drafted him. I'm not sure when he signed the contract.
Well, if he was drafted in April and he went to OTAs or rookie OTAs,
well, he was
then
there.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the difference there.
Okay. Because I was about to get in the NFL's behind and say, look, you can't...
well, what about Joe Mixon? Did it happen before?
Joe Mixon was never suspended in the NFL.
Right. Joe Mixon wasn't suspended. He was just, sort of vilified, if you will, and rightfully so. We don't condone violence against anyone, men or women. We don't condone violence on any level. So, yeah, he was vilified rightfully, but not everybody, but most people should be given a second chance. I do believe in that. Okay, so I won't go so hard at the NFL as I intended to, but it did sort of strike me as a little bit odd. The other thing that's going on, is the NHL playoffs. Mm-hmm. You got a game, the words in sports is nothing's more exciting than Game 7 hockey. Exactly. You got the Tampa Bay. What'd you say, Ghost?
Exactly.
Yeah. Game 7 hockey playoffs is some of the most intense sports you're going to watch. It's an awesome sort of tension. It's a feeling. It's an emotion. And that's what sports is about for me. If I don't feel it, I don't care. I don't care when Pittsburgh's playing Cincinnati and Cincinnati's leading 2-1. Who cares? It's the bottom of the four. I don't care. But I do care when the Texas Rangers are beating up on the Yankees 6-1 because that's my team. The Tampa Bay Lightning and the Washington Capitals. Washington Capitals went up 2-0 in the series, and then
had the nerve
to lose the next 2 games.
Tampa?
To Tampa. So it went to 2-2.
Mm-hmm.
They go back to Washington, which Washington was playing
Tampa was
poorly.
number one seed.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
And you know, Washington overcame their Pittsburgh Penguins demons. They go up 2-0. I'm listening to DC radio. Everybody's excited down there. They're saying, "Oh, the Caps got this." They lose the next 2 games. Last night, the Capitals win Game 6, and now tomorrow, I'm sorry, what is it? Capitals lost 3 games, and last night, Capitals win Game 6, and we're going to Game 7 playoff hockey. Ghost, I don't know. Are you a big hockey fan?
Yes.
Are you really?
I love hockey. I'm pulling for Vegas to win it all because it's their first year and that'd be something crazy. I think it was like 500-1 Vegas odds for them to actually win the Stanley Cup. And I'm pulling for Tampa to get through the East because they beat the Devils. So at least I can say my team got knocked out by a team that made it to the Stanley Cup Finals.
Does that matter to you?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I'd rather have my team lose to a team that made it to the finals and lost than the team that lost the next round.
Because, see, that just ticks me off. I really don't care. Once my team is gone,
I'm
angry.
say I lost to the best team. I don't want to say I lost to like some garbage team.
And then that got beat, that got swept or something in the next round.
Yeah.
I don't know. It just...
Because Washington just isn't consistent enough.
I take it the other way because if my team gets beat, I want the team that beat my team beat. I don't want them to win.
Yep.
Because I feel like, look, if y'all beat me, I don't want you to win, and I want you out of the playoffs. I don't care who else wins, but I want somebody else to win. That's just me. But, yeah, the Caps forced to Game 7. It should be interesting. That game is, well, let me look at the schedule. I think that's tomorrow night, Wednesday night. So check that out if you're a hockey fan. We got the Warriors leading 26-17. They're up 9 against the Rockets. Boring. What is that series? 2-1, Ghost? Or is it 3-1?
It's 2-1.
It's 2-1.
So
about to be 3-1.
The Warriors could take it to a 3-1. I'm a little bit behind because I got a lot going on the Clark Kent. So I'm kind of catching up. I did some traveling this weekend, so I'm kind of catching up on that. So I didn't get to watch everything the way I normally would. But we're going to have some good times. Folks, we're going to take a quick break at the bottom of this hour. We're going to get reset. I'm going to get all my computers going, and we'll be right back in about, give us 2 minutes after the break. We'll talk a little more basketball. We'll go talk a little bit more Yankees. He'll let us know what's going on in the major leagues, and we'll be right back with you. WBKS1.com in the game. All right, welcome back. WBKS1.com in the game Tuesday night. I am your host, O-Dog. To my right, she is
Coach V.
To my left, he is
Short Fuse, aka the Ghost.
The great debater in the house. Ghost, you know what time it is. You know I'm crazy with these things. If I told you how much time I spent on these little things, that drive me nuts, but I love it. I think it's fun. Tonight's bracket, Ghost, is your favorite broadcaster bracket.
Broadcaster of what, though?
Talk shows.
Oh, okay.
Let's go talk shows. Yeah, you could call it talk shows.
Okay.
Now, the regions are the guilty pleasure region, a.k.a. nonsense. That includes the number 1 seed, Jerry Springer, Ricky Lake, number 2, Wendy Williams, number 3, Tyra Banks, number 4, Jimmy Fallon, number 5, and Rachel Ray, number 6. As we know, not all seeds fit in exactly the way they are, but, you know, I got to slot them in somewhere. The big timers are number 1 seed, Oprah Winfrey, number 2, Dick Clark, number 3, Barbara Walters, number 4, Diane Sawyer, number 5, Simon Cowell, and number 6, Anderson Cooper. The daytime talk shows. Number 1, Ellen DeGeneres. Number 2, Steve Harvey. Number 3, Dr. Phil. Number 4, Regis Philbin. Number 5, Michael Strahan. Number 6, Dr. Oz. And the late night category, that region, includes number 1, the late great Johnny Carson. Number 2, David Letterman. Number 3, Jay Leno. Number 4, Arsenio Hall. Number 5, Jimmy Kimmel. And number 6, Jon Stewart. How'd I do in the seating, Ghost?
Pretty good. Some of them ones, I don't know why they on it, but this guy.
Like who? Give me who you think.
Rachel Ray. Who watches her?
I figured we break it up, give a little, that little cooking show. Now, let me ask Coach V, how do you think I did with the seatings?
I think you did well. I think you gave us some good people.
Now, here's the people that I left out, because it was hard. You got Stephen Colbert, Ryan Seacrest, Larry King, Conan O'Brien, Drew Carey, Bob Barker, Pat Sajak, Katie Couric, Hoda Kotb, Judge Judy, and Judge Wapner. Had to leave all of those out. All right, Ghost. Now we got a plate. We're giving. I'm going to give buys to the top seeds in all the regions. That includes Jerry Springer, Ricky Lake, Oprah Winfrey, Dick Clark, Johnny Carson, David Letterman, Ellen DeGeneres, and Steve Harvey. They all get first-round buys, and we'll get back to that. We'll come up to it in the top of the hour and talk a little bit more about that, but I just want to throw that out there. Ghost, talk to me about Yankees baseball. What's the standings? What's going on in baseball right now? I know you said baseball is exciting. Give me something that's going on in baseball right now that excites you.
Basically, just the Yankees' young lineup. The other night, they started a lineup. Everybody was under 29 years old.
Ooh.
Which is the first time I think it's happened. I think they said, did they say to the 70s or
really?
Something? Yeah. Yankees are in first place in the American League East, 31-13. They're half a game ahead of Boston, who's 32-15. You know what else excites me? The Mets.
Stop it.
No, they start off pretty well.
What's exciting about the Mets, Ghost? Now you just
the 24. No, actually, they're 24-19. They're 2.5 games out now. They kind of moving up a little bit. Other than that, I just like. I really just like how the Yankees are playing. I like a lot of the young talent in baseball.
You know, it seems like baseball has become about two things: strikeouts and home runs.
From the big hitters, yes.
What about the rest of the teams? I mean, what about the rest of the players?
Because
are there role players? Are we seeing any sacrifice bunts? Are we seeing guys get base hits?
Certain teams still sacrifice bunt in National League.
I was about to say all National League. Right?
National League sacrifice bunt. I'm sure there's some teams probably in the American League that does. Maybe like a Tampa, Minnesota probably sacrifice bunts. I wouldn't doubt Houston sacrifice bunts in some places. Oakland. You have some teams that are probably still sacrifice bunt, but not a lot of players are asked to bunt in the minors anymore.
I got to give a big shout out to my cousin Nico Goodrum, former guest on In the Game. He is one of the hottest players in the league. They got him on the Fantasy Ghost. You know,
he's on Fantasy.
Yeah,
nice.
Yeah, they got him on Fantasy. If you're a fantasy baseball player, you might want to buy low on Nico Goodrum from the Detroit Tigers.
Oh, he's on Detroit now.
Yep.
I used to play fantasy baseball. It's just so much.
It's so much with fantasy.
I mean, I liked it because I won a couple of leagues I was in when I did do it. But you got to really be on top of that every day. That's one of the reasons why I didn't get involved in that. And the part that sucks about it is that you got to do it every day because if you miss the hitter, cool, because your other hitters can make up.
So wait, how does that work for fantasy baseball? Do you have to what? You have to change your pitchers every day?
Oh no, you know when they're scheduled to pitch. You can put them in.
Okay.
You can put them in a lineup for the whole week.
Okay.
But if you forget to move them out of the lineup and then you miss that whole stat, that's what'll throw you all off. You miss your pitchers.
Wow.
Because your hitters you can make it up. With
Right,
the hitters.
right.
Your pitchers is crazy because then sometimes if you don't hit enough innings, like certain leagues can set it up where you got to hit a certain amount of innings to get any credit.
Mm-hmm.
And if you miss putting your pitchers in, you don't hit those.
There's a minimum inning requirement in order to
like get credit for your pitching stats. It's certain ways you can set it up.
Oh wow. I've never done fantasy baseball.
I mean, I loved it. It's just like there's a lot to it.
I used to do fantasy basketball. I got away from that, and then when fantasy football came around, obviously I do that. I had a friend of mine tell me that they're already thinking about fantasy football. I'm like, it's way too early for me to even start thinking
about it. Not early. Not really. I'm already thinking about who I'm drafting.
Are you serious?
Yeah. I got my draft already. I know who I'm picking. No, I'm dead serious.
Wow.
I know which rookies I'm targeting.
Are you serious, Ghost? Well, maybe that's why I haven't won in 4 years, because I have not even started thinking about football season.
I think I've won something every year I've played fantasy football, except for 2 years ago.
Coach V, what are your thoughts on fantasy? Is it too early for you to start? Do you play fantasy football?
I tried it once, but then I was like, seriously, I'm like, nah, it's too much. I'm like, I mean, when I see people that really are into it, and they're just like constantly checking, check my fantasy, and I'm just like,
yeah, there are some people that are just like, crazy.
Can't we just
it.
watch the game just to be watching? Like, happy?
Well, and that dovetails
it makes it fun to watch for me.
That dovetails into what we talked about last week, and I'm gonna segue into Roger Goodell and the NFL asked Congress for uniform standards on sports betting. After the Supreme Court has basically said the states can do what they want as it relates to sports betting. Now, Roger Goodell has issued a statement Monday asking Congress to enact uniform standards for states that choose to legalize sports betting, which is counterintuitive because the law was that only 4 states could have sports book betting, professional betting on professional sports.
Which is stupid.
Which is totally stupid because if Nevada can do it, why can't New Jersey? They have no special skill. I mean, they've been doing it longer, but there's certainly other states can set it.
Doing it longer legally.
Legally, yes. They've been doing it longer legally.
If they open it up in every state, there's somebody within that state who could set up a sports book with no
Absolutely.
issues.
And you know who's going to do it? It's going to be those casinos.
Because they can expand now.
Right, they can expand now. And they have to expand. Otherwise, they're going to, it's like business. And most businesses think about expansion. Gambling's no different. It's a business.
Atlantic City really need to be pushing hard for this because it may revive Atlantic City.
It might.
Can anything revive Atlantic City?
Sports book, yes.
You think so?
It could bring in money that people don't have to sit in the casinos and gamble. Because most people still want to go to Vegas to gamble. They're going to go to Foxwoods. Now you can go to PA to gamble. But if they got sports betting, that's just another revenue stream that they can get that will help them.
Are you really going? Who's going? First of all, I have not been to Atlantic City in
years.
Are you a gambler?
I've gambled. I wouldn't call myself a gambler.
Yeah, so you know how many gamblers there are in Jersey?
Really?
Who bet sports?
Degenerates.
You know how many bet sports in Jersey?
A lot, I would imagine.
And they don't have to do it online. They can just go down to the casino, put their little bet, and then boom.
But see, that's my thing now. Why would I go down to Atlantic City?
You know, because then I don't have to wait for the online. What if I put my bet on online? Okay, well, we ain't paying you right now. No, if I'm in the casino and I win, I want my money.
But that's a 2-hour drive from here.
I don't care. If you owe me money, I will drive 24 hours.
How is this going to affect the Native Americans? That's what I want to know.
That's another factor.
Hey, if they can start doing sports books at their casinos, then hey, more power to them. Another revenue stream for them.
Absolutely. Everybody's going to try to get their hand in the till. You know, that's the thing.
Even the owners, because they say they need to have a percentage off the top.
What do you think about that, Coach? Because we talked about that last week. Are you for the leagues getting a percentage of the gambling revenue?
No, because to me I mean, and you probably may know this more than I would, but I think it speaks to a conflict of interest.
That's what I said last week.
That's exactly what Ghost talked about last week.
I don't think anybody who can influence the outcome of a game should have any percentage in the profits.
Right.
Because that means is the NFL going to pay out when they lose? You're not getting a percentage of the profit. Are you going to take some of the liability when I'm taking an L?
Exactly.
That's true.
You just want the profit. You don't want to take the L because if I end up taking the L, all right, NFL, here's your percentage.
Right.
But what's your counter to Coach V? And I'm going to go. Ghost and I talked about this last week. But what's your counter to them saying you're betting on our product? How do we not? Aren't we? We are entitled. I'm going to play Roger Goodell. We are entitled to a percentage of your revenue because you're betting on our product.
Then I would have to say that
it's our league.
You know what I would say?
It's your league, but it's still a conflict of interest because in betting we expect for them to be integrity, we expect it to be fairness, everything to be above board.
Sorry to jump you, but that's what they're calling it. They're calling it an integrity fee to keep everything fair.
No.
See, that's what money doesn't do.
And one thing I'm gonna say is precedent has been set.
Right.
You ain't going to Atlantic City asking them for percentage of their winnings right now. So there's nothing that changed. So if you haven't asked Atlantic City, if you wanted a percentage of the money that they're getting off of your product, you should have been talking to Atlantic City for all these decades.
Well, think about.
So why didn't you say something then? If I'm the judge, I'm saying no. This is why your case has no merit because it's been going on. You didn't ask for it then, so you can't ask for it now. Yeah,
and then think about it. Like in Vegas, tons of stuff goes. They bet sports books there.
Sure.
Like when Mayweather, when he don't get a percentage of the betting that goes on with him. I mean, he is the product. He doesn't get it.
That's a good point. I didn't think about that. And
if they didn't ask for it, they can't get it.
Yeah, you can't have it.
The fact of the matter is this. There's been legal sports betting in Nevada
Ever.
Why didn't they ask for a percentage of that?
That's what I'm saying. So now the precedent is set,
Right. Why would we give you, if I'm a casino owner, you didn't ask Nevada for that. Why are you asking me for that?
Exactly. And I do think it really is a conflict of interest because now you have, let's just say I'm the owner of, I don't know, the Panthers or whatever. And I see that, we're going into this game and the line is leaning this way and that way, blah, blah, blah. I have an interest in the outcome of the game.
Absolutely.
I have an interest in it. And when you have an interest in it, financial interest in it, and
absolutely,
it's betting, then it is a conflict of interest.
Everybody comes in under.
And
the whole league
and then the other factor is this. Now, you got to think about it from, I'm always talking about the players. I'm a players person.
Yes.
I'm power to the people, labor. I am all for labor.
Yes, you've always
Now, what if the owner says, hey, look, the money ain't coming in the way we need it. We need to make sure Cam plays. There's talk that Cam's not playing. Everybody's betting one way. We need more money on our side. We need to push Cam out there.
No, you know what you do?
He might be injured.
Say he ain't playing.
See, they have inside information.
You say
they have inside information.
And then all of a sudden the bets go one way, then Sunday gets here and be like, okay, nothing said we can't put you in.
That's right.
But they have inside information.
That's true.
But
Ghost brought up the point. Now, how do you counteract? How do you deal with the fact that you got the injury report that comes out? You have to put guys on. Tom Brady has been on the New England Patriots injury report for a shoulder injury.
I would put my whole team on the injury report every single week.
Always the extremist, this guy. The great
because
debater.
It's a waste of time. What am I telling you? Only reason I'm doing it is for the sports books. I'm not doing it for my competition because why would I want to tell the other team that they have an advantage? So you know what? Everybody on my team is hurt. Yeah. What do they have? They all got a little slightly twisted ankle.
Do like they do in hockey. They have a
thigh contusion.
lower body injury.
Lower body injury.
An upper body injury. That's all they tell you in hockey.
Thigh contusion.
A thigh contusion.
He got bumped on the leg.
Because let's say today,
come on.
Let's say today, in today's game, the whole talk before, not the whole talk, but the majority of the talk was about Iguodala not playing.
Right.
It was listed as questionable, then it was probable, then they decided no. So anytime that update came out, the line had to change a little bit.
Yep, sure.
So again, in the NBA, you're you know more information than anybody knows because certain reports have to come to you at a certain time. So I just think they should not. No, you can't get any money.
Do you think that they will get any money? I know I think we all agree that they shouldn't get any money.
I don't think they will.
I don't think they will. I don't think they will.
if I'm the casino owners or states, I'm saying you didn't get this before, so there's no need for asking for this extra benefit now.
I think as the casino owners, that's your strongest argument to say, look, we never gave it to you. Right, the precedent has been set. We never gave it to you out of Vegas. Vegas never gave you any of the profits. Why should we start now?
Right.
And the only reason I see you doing this is because Vegas is telling you to fight it.
Why?
Because the only one's going to be losing money is Vegas, unless the casinos will be able to go out and open up somewhere else.
Right. Shout out to Cindy on we got Instagram live going. Got my live channel. You can check me out at ODogWBKS1 on YouTube. I'm on Instagram live, ODogWBKS. We are on the In the Game page on Facebook Live. If you have any streaming issues, check us out there. You can always call us. Call in number 646-233-1302. WBKS1.com. In the Game talking sports.
Rockets and came back within 2 now.
That's what I was about to say. The Rockets
the line is
2.
always changing. It's like what owner is not going to have a vested, not going to have it. And then you know what? If they do this, y'all better let Pete Rose in the Hall of Fame.
Wow.
He should have been in anyway because he didn't.
But
he didn't bet for his team to lose.
But as soon as I heard that, I'm like, y'all need to let him in because now, okay, granted, it was not legal, the betting thing, but he never betted on his team.
He bet on his team to win, Ghost, right? Is that what you said?
Bet on his team to win. Never bet
on him to lose.
Okay, so but if y'all gonna do this, then y'all better let him in because y'all kept saying, well, it's the integrity of the game and it's wrong and blah, blah, blah. But see, y'all pushing for this. So really, it's not that wrong because y'all won it. So it can't be that wrong.
I mean, that whole integrity of the game is a crock of BS anyway because you got pitchers in there who cheated. You got people in the Hall of Fame who cheated, who actually affected the integrity of the game playing the sport.
Absolutely.
He was a manager who bet on his team to win. He was the only one that probably got caught. I'm sure many more of them did it. He just was not. He just messed up and got a little sloppy.
Now, how do you deal with the sort of, Coach V, I'll throw it to you because Ghost and I talked about, how do you deal with the potential for umpires betting games, umpires who can directly affect, or referees who can directly affect the outcome of the game?
Yeah, I see. I mean, okay, so we can't be naive to think it'll never will happen because it has happened.
It has happened, and it wasn't sports gambling, right?
It wasn't sports gambling. And then, I mean, we've had issues of, point shaving and all that stuff way back in the day.
Sure.
So my thing is that you're going to have to put in some safeguards. You're not going to be able to totally eradicate it. I mean, it possibly will happen. I mean, soccer, tennis. I mean, they've all had some corruption issues in it. So you're just going to have to put in the safeguards, the best safeguards that you can. But then you really are going to have to be vigilant about it. You're going to have to pay attention to it. You're going to have to really check out these maybe not so much the older one, but maybe these new refs and stuff that are coming in. And see, that's why I think the NBA should not get any money for this because the perception, it just looks bad. It just looks bad. And then I was also thinking about, okay, what's going to happen in NCAA? Because first the NCAA was saying they did not hold championships. It was an issue with holding championships in states that allow gambling. That's why, like for instance, Montclair was supposed to host the Division III field hockey championship.
Okay.
But it was kind of like off the board because they allow betting here. They have betting here. But now they were saying since that's changed, now like stuff like that is back on the board. So again, you have more opportunities for more money to come in, money that's not going to the players, okay, not going to the people that are producing the product. And it's just, if you saw an opportunity for a kid to say, hey, I can make some money by playing, if you don't think the opportunity, like I can make some money by changing or fixing or doing something to score, I mean, even though it is legal, I think there's going to be, before long, there will be an issue. Maybe not right away, but eventually.
I don't think it'll be any more of an issue than it is right now because it can still happen right now.
True.
So it's all going to be on the person. If a person wants to shave points or a ref wants to be dirty, he can be dirty right now when it's illegal.
True.
So I mean, it's just, but you just have to make the penalties stiff enough to the point where if they do it,
it's what's the word I'm looking
counterintuitive
for?
It's
not worth it.
Right. It won't be worth them cheating for what the fallout is going to be.
Right.
Because if a person's going to cheat, he's going to cheat right now because he can still do it.
Right. I think that's the point, Goes. You bring about a good point. You have to make the punishment such that it makes people not want to. It doesn't.
I mean, look what happened to Phil Dunn.
Disincentivizes. Who's that?
The ref.
Oh yeah, he did.
NBA went to jail, right?
Absolutely.
So and
lost his whole career.
It'll deter some people because, like I said, legal money or illegal money. If a cheater's going to cheat, it doesn't matter whether it comes from legal source or illegal source. They're still gonna go get it.
I mean, here's the thing: in sports, we already have so many like conspiracies. Oh, it's a conspiracy. They wanted to do that.
That's the other thing, Coach V, that I was going to jump in, and you brought that up because people already think the games are fixed.
Yep, the fix is in.
You know, they already think that referees and umpires are making bad calls. Oh, the Patriots always get the call.
Yeah.
This team always gets the call. You know, that team always gets the call. And now you want to take 1% of gambling, then they really going to have a problem when the NFL, a call goes a certain way. Oh, you remember that call? They didn't call that, it was a illegal formation against the Super Bowl. In the Super Bowl.
They say that that play with the quarterback catching the
yes.
touchdown should have never been
absolutely
allowed.
It was an illegal formation,
yes.
right? He never got set, so or whatever it was. But imagine if you're a Patriots
the no
fan.
catch call.
Oh yeah!
Oh my God! Can you imagine how crazy sports talk would be?
Why did he call that a no catch?
My
Could
God!
you imagine him? They said Belichick threw the Super Bowl because he had so much money.
Oh my God! Bob Kraft influenced him.
Yes.
Tom Brady missed that ball on purpose.
Why did you why Seattle not hand the ball to Marshawn?
Oh, it was a setup. That's why
because Paul Allen had a bet.
Yeah, but see,
he got the call in.
Is if you want to take 1% of the profits, then you have to take my losses too. And since I'm a casino, I'm wrapping all my losses into one. So you take a percentage of all my losses.
Yeah, do it.
I agree.
But I'm telling you, the conspiracy theory, and then that 2-minute report that comes out with the NBA saying there's going to be transparency, you really going to get, why that ref make that call? He missed, so he did miss that call on purpose. Check his bank account.
Report, right. Check his bank account.
Check his bank account.
That'll be the next thing.
When did he get,
man.
I'm telling you. Yo, it's all types
and God, I wouldn't even want to be a ref.
Right, you wouldn't really.
No, don't audit my accounts every day.
Yeah.
And that's what Joe West was saying. He's concerned about umpires in baseball, and he said he was concerned for their safety.
Yeah.
Because if you got, some guys that say, hey, look, man, how's your family doing? Some guys show up as you get ready to go into the ballpark. It'd be a shame if anything happened to them. But the counter to that is, like you said, Ghost, that could already be happening.
Would it be so bad?
Does this change anything? Does it open up the sports world to risks that are or aren't already inherent in it?
In a way, yes. It opens it up more, but like I said, because they actually can control
if
a lot
the leagues
more,
are getting some of the tape.
Because like I say, you can sit somebody. Oh wow, the over is in the NBA. Oh, the over is 250. Let's sit LeBron down for the last 5 minutes of the game. He got a cramp. Let's coach make a decision and pull out somebody and let's sit him down.
Anything that looks shady is going to be called into question.
No more tanking. Tanking.
Oh my gosh, the whole tanking thing.
The whole tanking thing. You got somebody. Yo, look here, y'all can't be tanking no more games because we got money.
Wow, I didn't think about that, folks. We're gonna take another quick break. We'll come back. We got Jamal Murphy, Gerard Hector calling in. Check us out. In 2 minutes, and we're going to play something over the break. Ghost, I got clearance for this music. This is my father's band. We are good. It's a little bit of old school. Yeah. It's a band called Desire singing The Great Pretender. We'll be back in 2 minutes in the game, WBKS1.com.
We got all kinds of conspiracies over here.
Welcome back, welcome back. You did not tune into the wrong station. It's still In the Game Tuesday night. We wanted to play some little music for you during the break. That's my father's band. His band is called Desire. You can check them out at the Sands Casino. We're talking about gambling, but they perform at the Sands, and they perform a lot out in Western Pennsylvania. Old school doo-wop. That's why my knowledge of old school music is really deep and vast. And people say, how do you know all this old music? When I was a kid, Coach V, I had to sit in and watch my father, and he performed in a group called Memory, and all he did was a cappella doo-wop. So I used to sit there for hours and hours and watch them practice. So there's a great show, folks, and I really want to promote it because it's public radio. I don't think Norm will mind. It's public radio. They do not charge you. It's called The Rhythm Review. It comes on Saturday from 10 to 2. And if you like old school R&B, soul music, doo-wop, then that's the show for you. I listen to it every Saturday when I can. They're online. It's WBGO, great public radio station outside in Newark, New Jersey. We're not too far from them. This is WBKS1.com. In the Game. I am O-Dog. To my right, she is
Coach V.
To my left, he is
Short Fuse, aka the Ghost.
All right, shout out to Chill Mr. Keep It Real. He probably still on vacation on that ship eating all that
Lucky
food or
him.
recovering. Ghost, you mentioned Shohei Ohtani. Give me a little background on him. This guy, is he the next big thing? What's the deal with him?
What do you mean next big thing?
And
he's doing something that's never been done in the major league.
Is he a big thing? I should say.
Because he's come over and nobody thought he's going to be able. Oh, he comes over. They're not going to let a pitcher hit. He's either going to be a pitcher or he's going to be an outfielder. He's not going to do both. Right now, he's doing both, and he's doing both well.
Can it last? Can it last? That's the key.
I think the pitching they got him lasting because they're in a 6-man rotation, so it's a little stretched out. So he gets some more rest.
Right.
He DHs 3 to 4 games a week. So yeah, because I don't think if he was playing in the outfield and maybe like running, have to do all the running, that's too much. I think that's too much of wear and tear for it to hold up to get out there and pitch every 6th day.
I don't know how I feel about it. I mean, as an entertainment, the sports is entertainment. I think it's interesting from an entertainment perspective. Yes. Do I think when I think about it as an owner, if I was an owner of the California Angels, well, let me ask you this. Let me rephrase that. Goes, is he a better pitcher or a better hitter?
Oh man, I almost gotta say equal.
Really?
I mean, because he throws in the upper 90s. Good curveball. I think got a split finger. He hits. He's hitting home runs.
So you mean to tell me this guy is equally as good as a hitter and a pitcher? That's what you expect?
Yes, I think he's yes.
I don't know that about that goes. I don't know that about it. He has to be better at one than the other, doesn't he?
I mean, I think he could be he probably, if you want to lay it down, probably could be a superstar pitching.
But that's what I'm saying.
I think he could be a star hitting too.
This world of specialties. You know, you pay these pitchers. Now, if you're the Angels, how do you pay him? How do you compensate him? Because right now he's on a crap deal, which if he waited 2 more years, he could have got paid $200 million, but he's getting paid some ridiculous amount, like $5 million or something.
Yeah.
Not a lot.
Not a lot at all for a guy of his skill set. Now, you could argue, and you could say that if he continues this up for, I think, what's his deal? A 2-year deal?
I'm not sure how long to do. Let us check it out and see. But right now he's hitting 310.
Wow.
That's good.
6 home runs, 17 RBIs.
Wow. That's damn good.
Goody good.
What do you say? Goody good.
Goody good.
There you go. We gotta give him a little crowd cheer for that.
And then I'm gonna tell you what his pitching is.
What's his pitching?
He is 4-1.
4-1?
Yeah, 4-1, 52 strikeouts, 40 innings, ERA at 3.35.
Wow.
The ERA is well. He got rocked that one time.
Yeah, they take the Boston game out, and he's pretty good. He's a good pitcher.
I mean, you really
he had one
can't
bad
argue
game
with
where he
that,
lost to Boston. He pitched 2 innings, gave up 3 runs, 3 earned runs.
I mean, you got to give it up for the guy, right?
Other ones, like last game, he went 7.
4-1 with a 3.3 RE and batting .310.
Yeah.
Now, I know people, don't get on me about the advanced metrics and all this on base. I don't care about that. I'm just looking. We're gonna simplify it for the sake of the show.
He could be another Babe Ruth. Babe Ruth.
Or he could be the first Shohei Ohtani.
We gotta have him do it for more than 1 year.
Yeah, exactly. Now, folks, let me jump into something real quick because I want to. Now, Ghost, we talked a lot about gambling. Do you know how to gamble?
What do you mean?
Do you know how to gamble?
Yeah.
How do you gamble? Tell me what you think about gambling. If I say, what's the money line, Ghost? Can you tell me what that is?
Oh, no. See, I don't know all that.
See, Coach V, do you know how to gamble?
No.
All right.
I just put everything on black.
We always bet on black,
always
right?
bet on the black.
Passenger 57, Wesley Snipes. If you don't know anything about betting, right now I'm going to give you a quick lesson. Today's lesson in betting. Learn to bet with O-Dog. What is a money line, okay? When betting on a money line, the team you bet on simply needs to win the game outright. In terms of handicapping, money line wagers have odds attached to it, both the favorite and the underdog. The odds assigned to each team in a money line wager create an active balance market for both sides. So that means they're telling you they want money on both sides. That's what Vegas is about. Okay. It's about balancing the money. Sure. If you have Green Bay against Dallas, we don't want too much money on Green Bay. We don't want too much money on Dallas. We want to try to even it out so that the house always wins.
Well, of course.
Okay? At first glance, it says betting on the favorite seems more attractive because they only need to bet a lesser opponent. They only need to beat a lesser opponent. However, this is where the odds come in. You will not get as large of a payout when betting on the favorite in a money line format.
Right.
The bigger the favorite, the less you're going to get paid.
Yeah.
Okay.
So when you look at a money line and it says minus 360, what that means is if you bet $360,
you only get like 100.
You only get 100 back.
Okay, I know. I saw that.
If you're plus 360, that means you got to bet 100 to win $360.
Right.
That's basically a money line bet. And it says on the flip side, betting the underdog may seem daunting given that they're not expected to win, but the odds assigned to an underdog in the money line format mean that
so you always win. You bet on an underdog.
A bettor can earn a nice return if the underdog pulls through for the outright victory. In this case, the bigger the underdog, the larger the payout. So if the Falcons are minus 200 and the Carolina Panthers are plus 160, you bet 100 on the Panthers, you win 160.
Like the Golden Knights, when they first started out, I think their thing was like negative 500 or something.
Yeah, 500 to 1 for them to get
so
the cup finals.
So you bet 100
to win the cup.
If you had bet 100, you would have won $500.
Right.
Nobody expected them to make
the
Stanley Cup Finals.
And they were saying that some no.
If you bet 1, you get 500.
You
500 to 1.
You had to bet $500.
Well, that's a different kind of bet.
You have to bet $500 to get $100.
That's a different kind of bet. See, we're talking about two different things.
Okay. What's a parlay?
That's you're talking about straight odds, goes. Because if it was 500 to 1, yes, you bet $1, you get $500.
Right.
I thought Coach V said it was minus 500.
They did say minus 500. That's what
to win. Because that's a money line bet.
Okay. I didn't know what it was. I just heard it.
Now, if it's minus 500, that means you got to bet 500 to win 100.
No, not for Vegas.
Yeah, that's what it said. That's a money line bet.
It couldn't have been minus 500. Then.
That's what I'm saying.
That was their first. First year. I know they were 500 to 1 odds
to win the Stanley Cup.
Win the Stanley Cup.
Okay, that means if you bet $1, you win 500.
Yeah, so if you bet $100, you got 5,000.
Right. If you bet if you bet 200, you're gonna win 1,000. I mean $2, you win 1,000.
Yes.
So yeah, but a money line bet is basically
200, you're getting 20,000.
Exactly.
Damn. Oh, excuse me.
Exactly. Exactly. And I got to tell you, I know some cats. I knew a guy once that went to Vegas and he won $90,000.
Wow, good
He
for
was
him.
a professional gambler for a year.
Lord bless him.
I have a friend of mine. I won't mention his name.
I got friends who gamble big.
And
they go out there and they would win 100, lose 100,
I just can't
win
do it.
150.
Yeah.
But they bet
hard numbers.
Huge.
Yeah, they betting $100
like
hands.
They got comp rooms all the time. And they got taken care of. It was no big issue because they bet big. And
Absolutely.
they played baccarat, whatever that is.
Yeah, baccarat. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Henry Sizik said, being a professional gambler is his dream job. Yeah, that's awesome. I mean, I would love to have the money, but you got to be fearless.
Yes.
You got to be fearless.
You know, scared money don't make no money.
I was going to say, scared money
don't make money.
We may as well say it all the time.
Do you know, I listened to, what's the guy's name, Ghost? He's a professional gambler, and he's out of Roselle, New Jersey. His name was Phil Ivey, professional poker player. Right up the road, about 7 miles away. This guy is a professional gambler, and you know what he said? I read an article on him. He said, I don't think of it as money. What is
No,
this
because
shit?
if he thought about his money, he wouldn't want to gamble because he wouldn't want to lose it.
Exactly. He said, I just sit at a table and I just make bets. I play the game the right way. You sit there and you play poker. He's like, you lose, you lose. You win, you win. He's like, sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. But he's like, I can't think about the money. I just
No, because he'd go crazy.
Right. You'd be scared all the time.
Yeah.
One of my
Scared
boys,
money
couple of
don't
my
make no
boys,
money.
we went to casino in Montreal. Dude walked away with like 12 grand.
Woo.
In one sitting. I'm like, how do you win 12 grand? He's like, look, I was down 10.
Gregory's
When you're down, you got it's like a shooter got to keep shooting to get out of the hole.
yeah. Gregory's wife is quite adept at the blackjack. And
See, but isn't that more just the way the cards come out?
I don't know what it is, but she's walked away with close to 5 figures on his
Wow. Don't tell the tax man. We ain't gonna tell him.
Hey, listen, she's a banker, so I know she handles her money.
All right.
But I'm just like, gosh.
But I think get to a certain point, I think the casino because they got
Absolutely. Anything over $10,000.
Yeah, they got to
report
what they pay out.
Absolutely. Now let's talk something about, real quick before we get. We got a callers calling in. We got the great Gerard Hector, the great Jamal Murphy. They were here last week. If you were here last week, we're going to talk a lot of basketball with them, talk about the NBA playoffs. Coach, did you hear Master P wants the Raptors head coaching job? No. You laugh, Coach V. Why you laughing?
I remember when he tried to play.
He tried to get in the NBA.
He did.
He played for Charlotte, wasn't it?
He played for Charlotte. That's right.
Yeah.
For like what, one day?
This is not the first time he tried to get a job in the NBA.
Yeah.
What was the other job he tried to get?
He trying to get a head coaching job though. He ain't never coached nowhere before, right?
Last year he tried to get an assistant coaching job with the Pelicans.
What happened?
Because he's from New Orleans. You know the what is that? No Limit Records.
You're not just getting a assistant coaching job without playing in the NBA or
He
having some kind of
played
experience.
college basketball.
You got to coach in college first. They're not going to just give you a coaching job in the NBA if you have no coaching experience.
Wait a minute, that's not true.
Spoelstra didn't.
That's not true.
Spoelstra was a video coordinator.
Jason Kidd got a job without any head coaching experience.
He played in the NBA.
He didn't have any coaching
never
experience.
coached.
But he played in the NBA for
Playing
years.
ain't coaching, goes. You got to admit that.
I said you either have to play in the NBA or coach in the NBA.
I thought you said you had to have some coaching
No, I
experience.
said you had to either play.
Okay.
You had to do something in the NBA. They're not going to let some random person on the street be a head coach.
Well, no.
Popovich was. He didn't play in the NBA.
But this guy is a former.
Popovich never coached before he coached Spurs?
Nope.
I don't know. I can't
he coached.
confirm that.
Wait, did he coach in the Air Force Academy?
Popovich coached
Yeah.
somewhere before he went to the Spurs. I'm sure the Spurs didn't just give Popovich a job because he sent the
I think he
resume
coached in
in.
Air Force Academy. Let me not say that.
If that's the case, I'm going to get an application for the Nets job. I mean, it's not going to work.
Would you, if you were the Raptors owner, would you give him any serious consideration?
No.
None at all?
Because if I had options of people who've coached before,
you don't even want to think about it?
no. I would think about it for some other position. Assistant, go prove yourself in the D League first.
Be a video coordinator.
Prove yourself that you can coach. Get a job with the team first and be with a team.
Okay.
Well, he tried to get his assistant coaching job.
He did coach at Air Force Academy as an assistant. Then he
You're
went.
talking about Greg Popovich.
Yeah. Then he went to Pomona, Pittsburgh. Then he went to Kansas. Then back. And then he was San Antonio's assistant, Golden State as an assistant, and then he was a head coach for San Antonio in 1996. Till now. Still now.
All right. I mean, I would you give him an assistant? Would you give him an assistant coaching job, Coach?
I mean, I wouldn't see nothing wrong with assistant coaching.
Video coordinator.
You gonna make him a coordinator or something?
Video coordinator. Start there.
You want him to start off at the bottom. This is Master P, no limit.
Listen, Eric Spoelstra started back then. Started there. And Eric Spoelstra done won some championships.
Carolina Panthers was sold last week. Goes to a guy named David Tepper.
Mm-hmm.
Any thoughts on that? Doesn't matter.
Gambling.
No.
Everything's conspiracy with me.
Everything's a conspiracy.
Everything's gonna
with
be
you?
a conspiracy with me now. Like,
Oh, Coach V. Hold on. You know what? I guess I just thought about something. Coach, folks, this is live radio. So we got to do something real quick. I got to make a quick move. Hold it down for me for 1 second.
let's talk more conspiracies. I'm on that today. They done found something I like.
Got you. What kind of conspiracies can you come up with, Coach V?
You saw the ones I came up with. so far.
Give me something new.
You selling your team? Oh boy, let me get another. Let's see. Oh, yo, why you missed that dunk? Yo, all those all those layups that they missed in the last game. No way an NBA player should be missing all those layups. You missed that for a reason. I know why.
You know, and that point shaving thing was real. You know,
It's real.
Point shaving been going on forever.
Do you know that everybody's seen Goodfellas? You've seen the movie Goodfellas, right?
Henry Hill, that thing would happen with CCNY was back in the day?
It was, I think it was Providence or Boston College. I can't recall.
Yeah.
But you know, the reason why he turned those guys in was because he was caught up in a point shaving scandal with some players up in either Boston College or Providence. I can't remember. So that's why he said he got busted. And he said, well, if I could give you this, can you give me some, take some time off my sentence? And he started flipping on everybody. And that's where the whole Goodfellas story came in. It all started. I watched it. There was a 30 for 30 on ESPN.
On the rest of Goodfellas because he got caught in a point shaving?
Something like that. Or the point, it's either.
He really need to be ashamed of himself.
It was a 30 for 30. I saw it too.
How can he look at himself in the mirror at night?
I'm just telling you what,
Listen, he for self,
That's
man.
disgusting.
When you facing time,
that's what I'm saying. When you face the time, you start looking at stuff
That's
like.
disgusting. You ain't no man.
What? I'm trying to preserve myself.
Then don't do the crime. Go get a regular 9 to 5.
That's when you're a real snitch.
You don't just start ratting on everybody else because you got caught doing something completely different.
Listen,
come on, man.
No honor among thieves.
Hey, that's it right there.
The people I'm with should know I'm suspect.
Everybody's a thief. There's no honor among thieves.
Hey, can't trust nobody.
His whole family should have caught bullets for that.
Wow, come on, Ghost.
Nope, got to prove a point.
Wow. Wow. You
no
are
honor
rough.
among thieves.
You are rough, Ghost.
Oh, well. Teach your sons better.
Did anybody watch we're going to do a little pop culture. Did anybody watch the Royal Wedding?
I saw some of it. I
You didn't
saw
watch
some
any
of
of
it.
it?
I saw
Why do
some
I
of
care?
it. It was beautiful.
Because it's beautiful, Ghost.
There was a lot of African American flavor.
That's
in there.
That's the other reason, Ghost.
Yeah, it was good.
There's a lot of flavor in there.
A lot of flavor.
So?
You don't care?
I don't even know their names.
Meghan and Harry.
No idea.
When Harry met Sally. Okay, here go another conspiracy. At the end of the game, going for that last second
Caller
shot.
from the 732. State your name. Where you calling from?
This is Gerard. What's good, Otis?
Oh, we got him back. The great
Gerard, how's
Gerard
it going?
Hector. We didn't bug him too much, so he must like us, folks. He called back. We appreciate the chime, Gerard. Let's talk, man. Let's talk. Let's jump right into it. Head first into the deep end of the pool. Talk to me about LeBron and the Cavs and what's going on with that series. It's evened up at 2-2. The Boston Celtics can't find a way to win on the road. We'll see if the Cleveland Cavs can do it. What were your thoughts on last night's game?
Well, I mean, first things first, right? LeBron is LeBron. He's going to do LeBron things, right? Best player in the world, and he showed it again in Game 4 last night. Series tied 2-2. I mean, people who thought the series was over when they were down 0-2, I mean, clearly haven't watched LeBron's history. What I'm curious about is, and I think, Otis, you know where I'm going with this.
What's that?
You know, Brad Stevens, best coach in the NBA.
You mean Jesus?
Somehow his teams can't win on the road. What's the problem?
Hey.
Why can't he figure out game plans on the road?
Hey,
Gerard,
you know what? Gerard, it's good.
Don't talk about Jesus like that.
It's funny because, folks, if you recall, Gerard and I and Jamal Murphy, we hosted or we co-hosted Bill Roden on Sports Bros Pod. Check it out on SoundCloud, iTunes, Podcast Addict, wherever you get your podcast. But that's one of the things we talked about. We said if he beats LeBron, will he be a genius? Some people said yes, some of us said no. But the question is, I'm going to ask you, Gerard, if he beats him but he does not win on the road, is he still that big of a genius?
No, I don't think so. Look, the thing is, I'm not saying Brad isn't good. Brad is excellent, all right? Fantastic out of timeouts. What he's able to get guys like Rozier and Marcus Smart to do playing-wise is incredible. But again, let's not act like the Celtics are devoid of talent, all right? They've got 2 number 3 overall draft picks in recent years in Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum. And if you remember, Al Horford was also the number 3 draft pick in his draft. So they're not with a bare cupboard. Number 2, Brad has somehow found this way that when he wins or when the Celtics wins, it's all Brad. When they lose, their players are young and they don't know what they're doing. Well, come on. It can't go both ways, right? And then conversely, for Ty Lue, when the Cavs win, it's all LeBron. When they lose, it's all on Ty Lue. Like, come on. This is ridiculous. Brad is good, but Brad needs to also take some criticism as well. And I think in that series, in the 2 games back in Cleveland, Ty Lue coached better.
People need to pump their brakes on Brad Stevens because I didn't think he was that great anyway.
Well, you said that before because he hasn't beaten LeBron in the past 7 years, so what makes him so great? This is LeBron's working on going to his 8th NBA Finals, and you mentioned that last week. But here's my thing. What was I going to say? I was going to say, you talked about Ty Lue out-coaching Brad Stevens. Is it Ty Lue out-coaching Brad Stevens, or is it just the fact that all of a sudden you got the Cleveland Cavaliers role players stepping up and hitting shots, making baskets and making it easier? Kevin Love played better in the last 2 games. J.R. Smith played better in the last 2 games.
They didn't make the switch and put in Tristan Thompson to start.
Exactly.
Come on, that's not that.
Exactly.
I mean, is that a genius move?
He tweaked the lineup. Why ain't Brad Stevens changed the lineup when they got blown out in the 3rd game?
Right. He tweaked the lineup, and they're also doing some different things with Kevin Love to feature him a little bit more and get him going offensively, right? So, yeah, there were some strategic adjustments made by Ty Lue. Look, all I'm saying is Brad is a good coach, but people, listen, stop acting like this dude invented the game of basketball.
Yeah, they drank too much of the Boston Lager.
Exactly. That's all I'm saying. Brad's good, but let's calm down. Can the man win a chip first before we already laud him as like on the Mount Rushmore of greatest coaches of all time?
Yeah, thank you. He's the greatest coach in basketball right now.
I mean, I'm with you. I'm in LeBron. Hey, this is where I'm at with it. This is how I feel, and you'll hear. Hold on.
LeBron James.
I think that's it for me. LeBron James. I'm a LeBron James supporter. I think Brad is a very good coach, but like you said, is he getting too much credit? Is that the case of where, it's like the Belichick effect? When the Patriots win, Belichick does a masterful job. When the Patriots lose, is it fall on Belichick or does it fall on the Patriots players?
Right. And that's the thing that we talk about in sports that's so fascinating and how some coaches are able to have that narrative spun about them. And again, in Brad's case, it spun so quickly. I mean, this dude, it isn't like he's been a 15-year NBA coaching veteran. This is year 10. I'm sorry, year 5, excuse me, right? So, let's calm down with all that.
And again, like Bo said...
I thought was interesting. I don't know if you saw this on the internet a couple weeks ago. Someone put out a poll. If you were starting a franchise right now, would you want LeBron James as your main player or Brad Stevens as your head coach?
Yeah, I saw that.
And I was surprised that it was even a close contest. I'm like,
wait, it was close?
Yes.
It was close?
Brad Stevens? Really, it was very close. I was like, LeBron eventually won out, but I was like, this is insane. This is absolutely insane.
What was the question again? What was the question about?
If you were starting an NBA franchise, would you want LeBron James or Brad Stevens?
I want Brad Stevens. I need a coach.
What?
I need a coach.
I'll go find me a coach.
Because I need a coach to to coach the talent.
Well, I'll go find me a good coach.
I need a coach.
Exactly.
I need a coach
first.
I'll
find a coach. Guess what? You ain't finding no LeBron James growing on trees, okay? Like,
I'll find a coach.
There's a bunch of good coaches out there who can talent.
Yeah, I'll find a coach, but you're not gonna find another LeBron James.
Give me LeBron James and Popovich.
I'll take LeBron all day, every day. Now, last week, one of the reasons why I wanted to bring you back, if you don't know, Gerard Hector is a writer for BET. He writes for Black Sports Online. He covers the New York Knicks and the Brooklyn Nets. Yeah, sorry about that.
Sorry.
I know that's tougher than tough. But one of the things that we spoke about on Twitter, but we didn't get a chance to talk about last week, and that's why I wanted to talk to you. This Nick Bosa thing. Nick Bosa has made some tweets that seem, well, let's just say, I don't know how people want to characterize it. I would characterize it at the very least interesting. And I tweeted out, I'm not sure if if I'm deciding if Nick Bosa is a racist or an idiot. He said Black Panther, well, first of all, he's on the Trump train. Happy birthday to our 40th president, Ronald Reagan. He says Beyonce's music is trash. Black Panther is the worst movie he's ever seen. And Colin Kaepernick is a clown.
Okay.
Coach V, so look at those 3 tweets. You can take them in a vacuum first, right? And say, okay, this dude is clearly trolling and trying to elicit a reaction, right? Because of all the overwhelming support for those 3 separate entities in the other direction, right? So many people laud Black Panther as a great movie, which it was. So many people love Beyonce's music. Look, is it possible that you don't like Beyonce's music? I mean, I guess, sure. But to say it's trash, I mean, look, is he trolling or is he a racist? I don't know if the guy's racist, but it's clear that he is taking advantage of an opportunity and a moment in time where you are appreciated in many circles for making these kinds of statements. And, you know, the thing about it is, yes, there are statements that are attacking, by and large, black people, right? And so that's problematic. And my thing for Nick Bosa is twofold. One, when he eventually gets into an NFL locker room, how's that going to go over? Because players aren't going to forget that. And then number two, how quickly is that going to be spun next year during the draft, 2019, by the mainstream media as, oh, just the musings of some young kid, right? Like, it's interesting who is allowed to be a young kid and make youthful mistakes and who isn't, right? So
we're not allowed to be young kids at 12.
All that'll be interesting.
We're not allowed to be young kids at 12.
You know, it's the Gronk effect. It's a Gronk effect where it's like Gronk can do anything he wants.
That's just Gronk being Gronk.
It's Gronk being Gronk.
Yes.
But if certain other players,
that line.
Right. Gronk's
a little. Gronk is a playboy who's single, who got a lot of money, who goes out there and does whatever he wants to. But Cam just laughs at a reporter, and he's being misogynistic. He's not taking her seriously. But he said, but Gronk could joke about doing 69 with him.
Think about this, right? So Gronk does a lot of these party cruise type of things, right? Where there's a whole lot of drinking, half naked girls, whatever. Look, whatever you do on your free time, I don't care. Like, you're not hurting anybody, and these people participating, knock yourself out. Here's what's just interesting. Do you remember the Fred Smoot Viking sex cruise incident?
Oh, yeah.
I do not.
And how that was national news.
That was huge.
Oh, my God, these guys are terrible, blah, blah. It's like, wait a minute. Why is it problematic for one person to do it? I mean, and of course it's a rhetorical question because you know what the answer is.
Yeah.
But not okay for somebody else. And this is my point. It's like, and this is what I try to do with my writing when I talk about in the media, is that we need to cut this crap out and bring light to this and stop this double standard, right? If you're going to come at somebody, come at everybody for the same crime, right? Same thing with people having children out of wedlock. Do you know who was a baby out of wedlock? Tom Brady. Yet never talked about, right? Not only does he have a baby out of wedlock, Tom Brady dumped his girlfriend while she was pregnant to go hook up with Giselle. So there's like so many things that happen that people are like, whatever, is what it is. This one's got baby mamas, whatever. But I'm like, yo, these other athletes do it too. So if you're going to complain about one, complain about all.
Yes, be fair across the board is all I say.
No, that's a great point, because when Tiki Barber left his wife, who was pregnant at the time, it was like national news, and they basically, threw him out with the trash. Tom Brady left, was it Bridget Moynihan when she was pregnant?
Yep.
And it was just kind of swept under the rug.
All good. No problems.
I don't.
And now Tom is this amazing family man with Giselle and all his kids.
Except the one he had out of wedlock. But anyway, now as it relates to Bosa, you brought up an interesting phenomenon that I didn't think about, an interesting potential explanation. Is he trolling? Because one of the things I do, I go right at people. Dude makes these statements. Hold on, goes. I put out there last week, if he had any heart, call our show and explain yourself. I go right at him.
Yep.
So if he was trolling, I mean, we're a small show, but we're worldwide. He could call us up. Now, he's not going to do that. But I'm not just going to say something behind his back. I put it right there with I added him, and if you want to come at me, come at me.
I'm just shocked that his brother didn't come up and say something.
I mean, that's the other thing.
Like, his brother didn't be like, "Look, you need to
cut this nonsense out." Do you realize
you got an image that you want to keep?
And the fact of the matter is, like you said, Gerard, how's that going to play once he gets into a locker room that's 75% black?
Exactly. Exactly right.
Because these cats going to look at you like, yo.
Part of the reason why Joey didn't come out and make any statements, because he's like, I got to live in this locker room here too. So.
But then we know the NFL, because hell, Riley Cooper was running around at some concert using the N-word, and nobody didn't seem to bother the players of Philadelphia Eagles. He came back. He played a few more years.
What I often wonder is sort of, when you're at the level, and we've been in locker rooms before, you know, not only the hierarchy, but as an African-American player, what are you allowed to do and not do in locker rooms, right? Before it becomes problematic. Because, yeah, while they may be 75% of the locker room, their bosses are white, right? That's their coaches, the GM, the owners. Like, how much do they want to not ruffle feathers and get themselves in any trouble and mess up their bag, right? And I wonder about that.
Shout out to the call from 718. Is this the great Jamal Murphy?
Yes, it is. What's up, fellas?
Welcome back, my brother. You got the great Jamal Murphy. We got the team. The gang's all here.
Yay.
Murph, talk to me, because you of all people, once the Celtics won that first game, you said, I'll take them in 7. Now I'm taking them in 6. Now it's 2-2. Murph, talk to me.
I think it's because you don't like mangoes.
I mean, I originally picked Celtics in 7. I still got that.
No. You backed that down to 6 after game 1.
What did I say after game 1?
You said, I'm taking the Celtics in 6 now.
I said maybe 5. I wouldn't go 6 on the road. So maybe I said 5.
So are you going back to 7 now?
Yeah, I got no choice. Got to go 7. You know, I mean, I'm still not all that impressed by what Cleveland did. But I'm also a little concerned about how Boston played on the road. I mean, that was a completely different team. But maybe that's just their MO. Maybe they're just obviously so far this playoffs, that's what they've been. You know, they're undefeated at home, and they've only won 1 game on the road. So maybe, you know, I should have taken that into consideration.
I'll talk to you. I'll ask you the same question I asked you, Rod. If the Celtics win this series without winning on the road, can you consider Brad Stevens a great coach?
A.K.A. Jesus.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, of course you can, because nobody expected that team to be even in this situation, really. Even though the East, we got to be honest about it, was wide open from the very start. I don't think, nobody was saying coming in that they were positive that Cleveland was going to make it, especially after the Indiana series. So we did consider the East wide open, and that's part of the reason why Boston is there. I don't think, winning on the road or not with a young team prevents him from being a great coach. But, you do have to give let's say Cleveland does win the series and goes on. I think you got to give Lou his props. I think you got to give Tyronn Lue his props and say he's a very good coach if he beats the great Brad Stevens.
Great.
How is he so great when he's not made a finals?
Can we say he's good?
Let's say he's good.
He's good. Everybody can't be great. I think we only have a couple of great coaches in the NBA right now.
Check out his winning percentage at Butler.
He's a great college coach.
Yeah, he's a great college coach. Never won an NCAA title, but I mean, I guess you don't need to win a title to be great anymore.
It's like participation trophies. Everybody.
You just need to win. You just need to win 71% of your games. That'll get to 2 straight finals.
71% of your games in a conference. What conference was he in, Murph?
He was in a bunch of different ones.
Butler, they moved to the. They moved to the Big East.
After everybody left the Big East.
He got the 2 straight finals.
2 straight what? NCAA finals?
Yeah.
NCAA finals.
Yeah, he did do that.
Yeah, he did.
All right, we're gonna move on. We're gonna jump back to basketball, but you know what time it is.
They didn't win?
No, they didn't.
No, they
win.
lost.
No, they lost both of them.
They lost to Duke
They
one year.
They lost both of them. But greatness, you don't need to win to be great anymore. Let's hey guys, I got another bracket.
Meanwhile, Steph Curry's cooking right now, and the Rockets lead just got erased, and the Warriors are up 1.
That's Gerard Hector.
You must be 2 seconds ahead of me.
Yeah, 62-63, 5:19 to go in the third.
My bad. My Direct TV is
lagging. I say somebody watch Direct TV, somebody watching Comcast.
Yeah. That Direct TV is way behind. I do that all the time. All right, guys, we did Best Fruit last week. Join me again. We're going to do another quick bracket, not as long as the other one. This one is your favorite broadcaster, okay? In the Guilty Pleasures region, you got Jerry Springer and Ricky Lake with a first-round bye. In the Big Time region, you got Oprah Winfrey, Dick Clark with a first-round bye. The Late Night category, you got Johnny Carson, David Letterman as a bye, and Ellen DeGeneres and Steve Harvey at the 1 and 2 in the talk show. Coach Reed, we're going to start with you.
Yep.
We're going to start with the wild card games. Wendy Williams takes on Rachel Ray. Who you got? Who's your favorite? Think long, you think wrong.
Wendy Williams.
Ghost?
Wendy, come on.
Gerard?
I mean, gotta go Wendy.
Murph?
I barely know who Rachel Ray is, so I gotta go Wendy Williams.
Wow. All right, Wendy Williams is the winner. All right, and you got Tyra Banks against Jimmy Fallon. We'll start with you, Gerard. Who you got, Tyra Banks, Jimmy Fallon?
Is that even a question? Tyra.
You just going on. Well, we know why you picking Tyra. Anyway, Murph,
Come on.
Tyra Banks, Wendy, Jimmy Fallon. Murph, you up.
I gotta go Tyra.
Coach V?
Jimmy Fallon.
Ghost?
Jimmy Fallon.
I got to go Jimmy Fallon, too. Tyra Banks as a talk show host, I mean, she's fine. But that's about all she is.
I'm not trying to listen to Jimmy Fallon. I'm like, I think I would Tyra Banks instead.
All right, so that sets up.
And Fallon was all chummy with Trump, so I ain't forget that.
Yeah, well, I'm taking that back. I'm going Tyra.
All right, that sets up a 5.
Fallon was fine. No, I think he was upset with Trump.
Well, it's too late. The votes are in.
He was like messing up his hair, his toupee, and all whatever. You remember that?
Hey, we're back. That leaves it the way it is. We got to move on to the talk show category. You got Dr. Phil against Dr. Oz, the doctor bracket. Murph, who you got?
Dr. Phil, I'll go Dr. Phil.
Gerard?
Yeah, I'd go Phil, too.
Coach V?
Dr. Oz. I was on the show.
I'm going Dr. For longevity, Phil, Dr. Phil.
All right, that's it. Dr. Phil wins. My vote is irrelevant. All right, that's a 3. And now we got Regis Philbin against Michael Strahan. Coach V, who you got?
Regis.
Ghost?
I'm never going for a giant. Regis.
All right, I'm gonna make this unanimous. I'm gonna make it 3-2. I'm taking Regis just because of what Ghost said. I'm not voting for no giant. So you guys don't even have to vote. All right, let's go to the big time category. You got Barbara Walters against Anderson Cooper. Can we all agree Barbara Walters?
I don't know. I like Anderson.
Okay, you like Anderson?
Yeah,
I like Anderson too, but Barbara's the OG. So.
She is the OG.
Yeah, I'm going Barbara.
I think we all gonna take Barbara Walters on that. All right, you got Diane Sawyer against Simon Cowell. Murph, who you got?
I'm gonna go Simon Cowell.
Gerard?
Wow, upset there again. Diane Sawyer, the OG. Got to go with Diane.
Coach V?
Diane Sawyer, definitely.
Ghost?
Diane.
All right, I'm going Diane Sawyer as well. All right, now we got in the late night category, Jay Leno versus Jon Stewart. Murph, who you got?
Jay Leno Johnson. Oh, Jay Leno.
Coach V?
Jon Stewart.
Wow.
Yes.
Ghost?
Jay Leno.
Gerard?
Stewart.
Oh, wow, that makes me the deciding vote. Given that I did not watch a lot of Jon Stewart, I'm going to have to take Jay Leno. Sorry, Jon Stewart. Great guy, but I never really watched this show. So, all right, and the 4-5, you got Arsenio Hall versus Jimmy Kimmel. I'll start with you, Coach V.
I'm going with Arsenio.
Arsenio?
Yeah.
Ghost?
Arsenio versus Jimmy Kimmel?
Yeah, Arsenio versus Jimmy Kimmel.
Arsenio.
Gerard?
Arsenio.
Murph?
Oh, man. I hate to diss Arsenio, but I'm going to go Jimmy Kimmel. Sorry.
I'm going with the legend Arsenio Hall. He changed late night at his time, and that's who I'm going with. Now, we're going to jump back into a little basketball. Can anybody beat the Warriors? I'll start with you, Murph.
Nope. Oh, sorry.
No, I don't think so, unless a couple of them get hurt, which looked like a possibility earlier tonight. But, no, if they're even like 90%, 80% full strength, nobody's beating them.
Gerard, you concur with that opinion?
I mean, yeah, even though I picked Rockets in 7, I mean, this Warriors team is a juggernaut. And again, what makes them impossible is there's no answer for Kevin Durant, right?
Right,
that just makes them unbeatable.
Well, in that vein, who would you rather see play the Warriors? Would you rather see a Ghost? I'll ask you that. Who would you rather see play the Warriors? The Rockets? I'm sorry, the Rockets. The Celtics or the Cavs?
Cavs. I don't think Jesus is ready.
Coach V, who would you rather see, given your input on the motion offense, who would you rather see, the Celtics or the Cavs?
Based on what they run offensively, I'd rather see the Celtics. I would not the Cavs. I don't. Their offense is too predictable and too stagnant for me.
Gerard, who would you rather see in the matchup?
I mean, I'd rather see LeBron, of course, but it's going to be interesting to see the Celtics. If the Celtics would be a good matchup just to see Tatum and Brown and these young guys on the big stage against the mighty Warriors. So the Celtics might be a better matchup.
And Murph, give me your thoughts. Who would you rather see? Who do you think would be a better matchup for the Warriors, Celtics or Cavs?
I think it's equal. I think neither one is a matchup. I think entertainment value, you want to see LeBron, but I don't think either team has a chance.
I agree. I think the Warriors have this thing sewn up, barring injury. I would rather
they got sewn up for like the next 5 years.
Yep. And what are your thoughts on guys taking less money to stay with the Warriors? Murph, I'll start with you.
Well, I know you're a hater of the Warriors super team, so I know this really bothers you. But I don't have a problem with it. Guys got to take care of themselves. If winning is more important to you than money, it's hard to argue with that. I mean, they make so much money as it is. I don't have a problem with it.
Ghost, your thoughts on players taking less money to stay with a team?
They say people get hometown discounts. You want to go there. I'm not going to fault them, but I just think you affect other players who could be making more money.
Gerard, before I jump in here, I'm going to ask you your opinion on players taking less money to stay with a team.
Look, man, I think players should maximize and get as much money as they can, but if someone decides that they'd rather take $5 or $8 or $10 million less to have a better chance of winning a championship, who am I to tell them no?
You know who you ought to tell them no? You're the union. You know why? Because, like Ghost said, it affects other players. This ain't about you. This is about the union.
A-Rod tried to do that.
The bingo. That's exactly where I was going. Hold on, Murph.
I'm not buying this union argument. I think you just hate.
No. I don't care about super teams. No, I don't care about super teams. What I care about is players maximizing their earning potential. And what I'm saying is, when A-Rod wanted to go to the Boston Red Sox and take less money,
they were like, no.
The Major League Baseball Players Union walked in there and said, oh, no, you won't. That's not how we get down, bruh. We do not take less. We take max.
Because you're affecting
other players' pockets. That's why football players have no leverage.
The baseball union is the best union of all professional sports, right?
Exactly.
This is a business, and I get you want to win championships, but you cannot take less money to do it. The owners can pay a luxury tax.
Wait. How you got to explain to me how it's affecting other players, and that's in that particular situation where one player says I'm going to stay here for less money. How does that affect other players?
Go.
Because if say Clay says, "Oh, you know what? I'll take $8 million to stay here," and his stats are what they are, then Eric
devalued players.
Say Eric Gordon comes and say, "Oh, you know what? I want 10." Well, no, I'm not giving you that much money because Clay only got this, and he got better stats than you.
Right.
And you only.
If I'm the agent of another player and they try to bring up Clay to me, that's not my value. We all know Clay took less to stay with a championship team. It's a whole different situation. I don't think that dictates the value of other players.
It depresses salaries. Anytime you take less, it depresses salaries. It brings the overall salary down. Make the owners pay the luxury tax. Listen. You can.
That's different. If you want to make sure the owners pay, that's a different argument.
You can keep that team together.
Now, here's my thing, and I'm with you on this. I'm not about doing anything for the benefit of these billionaire owners. Right? Like let's keep it real on that. Because these fools got plenty of money to afford to pay the luxury tax. Because these teams are their hobbies, right? These fools made their billions doing something else. This is their play money. So I'm totally down with not worrying about the owners paying luxury tax. But look, a lot of these players don't realize that, and it's problematic, I think, overall. But again, I can't tell another man what to do with his cash.
I understand what you're saying, Gerard, as it relates to not telling a man what to do with his cash. But again, you just said the most important thing. This is a bit. First of all, you said it's a play thing for them. Does Paul Allen care about paying luxury tax?
No.
Paul Allen's a billionaire. He paid $2 billion for the damn Los Angeles Clippers, but you want me to take less money so I can build a championship? Get the hell out of here with that.
But
not must be out your damn mind.
But not all teams. It's a hobby for them. For like the Bus family, that's their livelihood. Like
that's their problem.
Yeah, the Bus family, that is their thing.
But then that's their problem.
Although Dr. Bus did make his money in real estate first, that's how he was able to get the money to buy.
Right, he did. But that's the family business is the Lakers.
Okay, but here's my thing.
He still ain't hurting now.
Right. Why should I take less? Are you going to take less as an owner? Oh,
no, I mean,
no.
I agree with that, but to say like because this is their hobby, their plaything for some people it's not.
Even if while I agree with Gerard, even if we don't use that as the premise for our argument, the Warriors up 80-70 at the end of the third over the Rockets. Even if we don't use that as the premise, I just can't fathom taking less money, pay the luxury tax. Because they structured this and Murph, you talk about it. Here's how they work the system. They put the luxury tax in place to penalize the players for maxing out contracts. Because they said, well, we can.
So your argument, though, is really not with the players. Your argument is with the union not being strong enough and collectively bargaining a situation where that the players cannot. You legally cannot take less money.
Absolutely, that's my argument.
We won't let you.
We will not, as the union. Just like if you want to fight, if the players want guaranteed contracts, and they have guaranteed contracts in the NBA, I realize that. But if you want to maximize your earning potential, you know what you do? Follow baseball.
Yeah.
Baseball has set the path for all sports as long as you are willing to take the hits in the beginning for the long-term game. Now, in football, they're not willing to do that because of the shortness of the careers. And they've set that system up, and we've talked about that ad nauseum. In basketball, they let these guys take less. You should not, as a union, especially in basketball where contracts are guaranteed, allow any players to take less money. That's just my position on it. I don't care you want to stay with them. Because who put the luxury tax in place? The owners, right?
Yeah.
The owners put the luxury tax.
Yeah.
That's something they put in place to protect themselves. And then the players say, well, we got to take less.
Stay on the luxury tax so we can build a winner.
Exactly. Exactly. You see that? You see what I'm saying? They done game the system. So we got to take less money.
They did.
We take less money so we can stay under the luxury tax.
On that,
they've been hoodwinked.
The larger media narrative is then, okay, well, this guy's too selfish. He won't take less money to stay.
There you go.
Selfish players, they're the problem.
Yeah.
Now you start talking about selfish players. Tom Brady took less. That ain't my problem. That ain't my problem. That's his dumb ass.
And see, what they start to do is they start to send out the narrative that, oh, it's about the championship. It's about the championship.
Right,
it's about the championship. But for the player, yeah, it may be the championship. But for the owner, yeah, they'll take the championship. But it's more for the money. You know, what's the
money regardless.
You know, what is their? But what is their profit margin? Like, as long as they're making money. Well, because they were talking about that with Toronto. They was like, okay, Toronto's going to have to make some moves because they have some contracts that are really bad. And they would say either we keep what we have and just keep, selling out every year and blah 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 and making money, or we make the concentrated effort to go after a championship and make the moves necessary to do that. So for some people, like you said, sports is entertainment. It's just about, are we making money? If we win a championship, oh well. If we don't, we're not pressed for that because we want to make money. That's what we're here to do.
The Pittsburgh Pirates haven't won a championship since the 79-80 season, I believe, but they are profitable.
They're making mad loot over there.
They're making mad loot.
Yeah.
They ain't paying nobody, but they making mad loot.
Right.
The Dallas Cowboys haven't won a championship in 20-plus years. They are running a business.
They're the richest franchise
in the Knicks?
world.
Right.
The Knicks, exactly.
The Knicks got all the money.
Got all the money. But they have bamboozled players into believing that if you don't take less money, you're not really committed to winning the championship. You know what? Then I'm not committed. Let's move back into the brackets. We got Jerry.
But that's what LeBron, he did with Dan Gilbert. He was like, no, if you won a championship, you going to pay that luxury tax.
That's right. And that's what you should make him do.
And he's had to.
Hey, Murph, Jerry Springer against Jimmy Fallon. Who you got?
Jerry Springer.
Gerard, who you got? Jerry Springer, Jimmy Fallon.
Springer.
Coach V?
Is Maury on there?
Nope.
Dang. Jerry Springer.
Ghost?
I mean Jerry Springer because he had fights.
Jerry. All right, you got Ricky Lake against Wendy Williams. Coach V.
Wendy Williams.
Ghost?
Wendy.
Gerard?
Ricky Lake had like 3-minute run.
No, she was on for a while.
might have to go Ricky.
Murph?
I'm going to go Wendy.
Ooh, that leaves me with the tying, the deciding vote. Wow, this is tough. I got to go Ricky Lake.
Wendy's a legend. Ricky Lake is not a legend.
Where is Maury? That's what I want to know.
I got to go Ricky Lake.
How you going Ricky Lake or Wendy Williams, who took over radio for a while, then she did talk shows and people follow her there. Oh, man.
Where's Maury?
Wait a minute. Hold on, Ghost. You're making me
delusional.
reconsider. You're making me reconsider. All right, I'll go Wendy.
Yeah, I don't remember if Ricky Lake had a. Did she even have a personality?
No.
Yeah,
she had a good hot second.
All right, that'll set up the 1-3 matchup, Jerry Springer and Wendy Williams. All right, who we got? Ellen DeGeneres, Regis Philbin, Ghost.
Regis.
Coach V.
Ellen.
Gerard.
Ellen.
Murph.
Ellen.
Ellen it is. All right, we got Steve Harvey against Dr. Phil. Murph.
Oh God, I gotta go Steve Harvey just for laughs.
Gerard.
Man, I gotta take them big parachute suits with me too.
You got to take the suits with you too.
Man, all right, man. I'll go with Steve.
Coach V.
I can clown him at least.
I go Steve. Yeah,
I'm going Steve Harvey. Ghost.
I'm going Dr. Phil.
All right, well, you lose. Sorry.
Wasn't Steve Harvey the one who had a meeting with Trump?
Yeah.
You had a meeting with him.
And we all cool with him?
I don't know that he was cool.
I forgot about that.
And he wrote that book.
Oh, man.
He said you got to be in the building to make change.
Yeah,
that's his theory.
Work.
All right, Murph, we're going to start.
calm
Everybody
down
ready?
all
Let's
that
go.
bullshit.
I'll start with you, Murph. Oprah Winfrey, Diane Sawyer. These are heavy hitters now.
Oh, Oprah, no question.
Coach V,
Oprah.
can we all agree on Oprah?
I can.
Just put
I
Oprah
mean,
down
is
as a
Oprah
winner.
just going to the finals? Can we just walk her all the way through?
Yeah,
now?
walk her right
Just
to the
go while
podium.
we-
Dick Clark against Barbara Walters. Who we got?
Dick Clark. What?
Dick Clark goes.
Dick Clark.
Murph.
Dick Clark.
All right, that's it. Dick Clark it is. I'm going to take Dick Clark as well. All right, and in the late night bracket, we got Johnny Carson against Arsenio Hall.
Johnny Carson.
Oh, can we all agree Johnny Carson?
Yeah. He's a legend.
Yep.
David Letterman against Jay Leno.
Letterman.
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 Letterman
it is.
Letterman.
All right, this sets up. Oh, man.
Oprah
this
versus
is tough.
Johnny.
All right, we're going into the final four. Jerry Springer against Wendy Williams. Who we got? Murph.
Springer.
Hector.
Springer.
I'm going Springer.
Don't matter. Then.
Coach
We
V?
go with-
Jerry had fights.
All right. Oprah against Dick Clark. We're going to take Oprah. Okay, everybody's taking Oprah. We're going to walk her to the final four. Ellen DeGeneres against Steve Harvey. Can we all agree it's Ellen?
Yeah, I like Ellen.
Yeah, man. We got to get Steve up out of here on that.
I like Ellen.
And Johnny Carson against David Letterman's Johnny Carson?
Yeah.
Johnny.
Yep.
All right.
I'm going to Letterman with that.
How you having Johnny and Oprah in the same one?
Listen, this is a battle, man. This is a battle. The Final Four, all number one seeds. It's never happened before. It rarely happens in the tournament. Jerry Springer, Ellen DeGeneres. Coach V, who you got?
Ellen.
Wow.
Yup.
Ellen.
Ellen. Wow, Murph.
Ellen.
Wow.
See?
Gerard.
Ellen.
Ellen it is. And Oprah against Johnny. I'll start with you, Gerard. Who you got?
Lady O, of course.
Coach V?
I don't know. They had Here's Johnny.
Ooh, that's rough.
I go with Johnny. I go with Johnny Carson.
Oprah's the queen of all media. You know
Yeah,
this.
but I'm rolling with
Those-
Johnny Carson.
Oprah.
Murph?
Oprah.
I'm going Oprah as well. And in the finals,
Oprah gave away cars and changed people's lives.
you got Ellen DeGeneres against Oprah Winfrey.
Oprah.
Can we all just agree it's Oprah?
Ellen's a knockoff.
Oprah.
Yeah.
Oprah winning it, man.
Oprah is the Golden State Warriors of broadcast television. All right, given the
She is. You got to put that meme out there. You get a car. You get a car.
Yeah. All Oprah had to do was mention your product on her show, and you was rich.
She changed the world, changed companies, changed lives. All right, guys, everybody, ladies and gentlemen, let's finish up strong. We all have agreed. I'm going to ask you one more time, Murph, for the final pick till next week. This thing will be over soon. Boston Celtics, Cleveland Cavaliers. Are you doubting LeBron?
No, I'm not down LeBron. I'm still down the rest of his team. They didn't, I'm not impressed by the way they even played at home, especially the last game. I thought the Celtics played so horribly. So that worries me a little bit. But I'm gonna stick with the Celtics in 7.
Gerard, tell me what you see in the Cavs' eyes. I want to know.
I see confidence because they have the best player in the world on their team. So I like the Cavaliers to win in 6.
Ghost?
I'm going to Cavs. I'm going LeBron.
Coach V?
Celtics.
You just like that organization. You like the
not about organization.
What is
I like the offensively the Cavs. Offensively the Cavs suck. I'm sorry, they do.
All right, I'm taking the Cavs in 6. I ride with LeBron. I'm going to, as they say, I'm going to dance with the girl I brought to the party. And I've been riding with LeBron. I'm not about to give up on him now. Gerard, let the people know where they can find you.
They can find me at Black Sports Online, at BET.com, co-host of the 7 Footers podcast, at JS Hector on Twitter and Instagram.
We appreciate your time, man, and we'll get you back on real soon.
Thank you for calling in.
Jay Murph, tell the people where they can find you.
Definitely Bill Roden on sports, on iPod, at Bros Pod on social media, and CBSLocal.com.
Gentlemen, thank you again. You know it's always a privilege and an honor. We thank you again for your time. We'll talk to you soon, all right?
Appreciate y'all, man. Thank you.
Appreciate
Thanks
you.
for calling, fellas. Have a good night.
That's the great Gerard Hector, the great Jamal Murphy. Check them out on all social media platforms and their podcasts. They do a great job covering basketball and all sports. Coach V, you got any final thoughts? It's 82-79. The Rockets trying to make this a game with 8:09 to go in the fourth.
More teams need to look at developing some type of motion offense instead of just settling for that 3.
On this day in history, goes May 22nd, 1988. Larry Bird led the Celtics past Dominique Wilkins and the Hawks to win Game 7 of the Eastern Conference semifinals. Jeez.
Semifinals?
That's what it says.
I think I remember seeing that today.
That was late then. What the hell? Why the season going on so late? I thought the NBA was going late this year.
Yeah, right? This thing ain't going to be over till June.
Well, just keep playing and don't even have a break.
Yeah, right? Final. You know, let me throw this out there real quick. And I want to talk to you about this real quick.
Sure.
Voluntary OTAs. Tom Brady didn't show. Does it matter?
No.
No.
No?
No.
But why would it have mattered if Odell Beckham didn't show?
Yes.
No.
Okay.
To me?
Yeah.
No.
It wouldn't have mattered to me either. What is the purpose of OTAs in May? Like what?
Getting the rookies going along right and stuff. Getting everybody, just getting all the team back together, going through the motions, getting them ready.
Mm-hmm. But I think with everything Odell has done, he needs to be there.
Okay.
He just needs to be there because he needs to show the new regime that he is the man that he keeps saying that he is.
Football is
I just gotta be there when it's mandatory.
That's the way I feel. I'm not starting my season in May.
If you want us to be there, then make it mandatory.
Make it mandatory. That's real simple. Why would you show up if it's not mandatory? You know,
and then why you show up? You like the guy Hunter Henry from the Chargers blew his knee out today at the OTAs. So now he's done for the year.
Wow. That's horrible. And you know, Belichick in his usual cryptic way said, they asked him about Tom Brady not being at the OTAs. You know, Belichick, we're only talking about players that are here.
Yeah, players that are here working hard, getting better.
That's the standard thing. Every team says that.
Right.
Pittsburgh says about Le'Veon Bell when he was out all last year.
Okay.
We only talk about teams. We only talk about players here in camp right now.
Which is all you can do.
Another great week, folks. We thank you for your time. We do not take it for granted. As we always say, you cannot play the game unless you are in the game. Stay in the game. Next Tuesday. Good night.
Night-night.